Hi, hello, and welcome back. Welcome back to LEGO Harry Potter. This should be episode 13 if I'm not mistaken. It might be 12, probably 13. Coming up on 15, which is half of 30 if you didn't know.
Man knows algebra.
The previous game was about 30 episodes long in its entirety, so maybe we're coming to the halfway point of this game too. All things that we can only speculate about or we can't know for sure. Just like we can't know for sure what the game has in store for us right now. I have no idea which mission or whatever we're gonna get ourselves into. We're going to this side of the castle. Oh right, we are going to Slughorn because we have taken in the liquid luck, or liquid cocaine as I called it, and we're gonna try to get him to reveal his memory finally, because we desperately need that for the battle against Lord Voldemort. Let's see. Ron wasn't with Harry in the original story, but it's fine. They have to make the game multiplayer accessible, I guess. We're not with Ron anymore, we're with Slughorn, and we're gonna have to get rid of this giant planting. We are in mission mode as well, so it's stud collection and shut the hell up time. Ah, the LEGO games. There's nothing like a little LEGO Harry Potter at the end of a busy day, you know? Just to calm things down a bit. I had quite a busy day. Well, no, not really, not at all actually. But I did go running, and that was a lot of fun. 5 kilometers as almost always. Our pace, I say our because I always go with one of my best friends. Our pace was a bit lower than otherwise, but that is because said best friend wanted to control her heartbeat a bit again. Because the last times that we went, she kind of noticed on her Fitbit, which is like a, well yeah, it's like a wristwatch that displays some things like your heartbeat and stuff like that, and she noticed it being in unhealthy ranges, so she wanted to calm down a little bit, take her time, and then make sure that she didn't die at a young age of 21. She's probably 21. I say one of my best friends, don't know her age, but that's just my problem and not hers. I'm really bad with ages, birthdays, names. I think name's the best out of those three things. Birthday is probably the worst. And then age is probably still the best. Because I know for a fact that she's 21, of course. I am 22 and her birthday is the 13th of May. So she has already had her birthday this year, just like I did. But she is 1 year younger than me. She's not only one of my best friends, but she's also one of the friends that lives the closest to my house. So that makes it really easy for us to do random things together. That's why we normally go running together. And she also has this nice big golden retriever dog. And we also take him out for some fun little walks. Which is a small little amount of exercise for us as well. So that makes it even more fun. And with that combination of almost daily walks and running on the other times, I get to have some pretty much daily exercise. It's probably pretty close to being daily. And it's very good, especially in the vacation, because that's not what I am normally like at all. Normally in the vacation, I sit inside the entire day, and that for 2 months. I don't do anything else. But I've really changed up a bit lately as a person, that's for sure. I've always appreciated the outside, that's not it. But there has been a certain growth in appreciation for being outside with some buddies, you know? Normally I just like being inside with my buddies, playing some games together. But now the outside has become a big part of it as well. It all started last summer when we almost went for ice cream. Well, when we went for ice cream almost every single day consecutively. In the beginning that was a big adaptation for me as well. And I didn't really like it because especially it was always very last minute, like do we want to go eat ice cream in half an hour, things like that. And normally I like to have my plans arranged a bit beforehand of them actually happening. But yeah, since that summer where we just spent like almost every day together, I've started to appreciate things like that a bit more. A bit of the impulsive meetups with friends, you know? It's still hard for me sometimes because I think that mostly, generally, I am quite introverted in most cases. But there's also certain people and certain situations where if I'm in that situation or if I'm with those people, it's the other way around. I'm more extroverted. That is, of course, how everybody probably is, so There's no need to actually put a label on it like that, but I do think that everybody can relate to the statement, right? That in some situations you're a bit more talkative, a bit more social, a bit more easygoing than in other situations, and that also depends on which people you are with. I think your sense of humor, for example, can change a lot depending on whether you're going out somewhere with your parents or you're just with friends. I would almost never probably make any inappropriate jokes when I'm out with my parents, but when I'm out with my friends, there's some inappropriateness to behold. I can assure you that, Professor Sprout. Because I do think that inappropriate humor and shocking humor and all those good things really are some of the best kinds of humor. Things that kind of shock you, you know? Because those are the kind of jokes that will really resonate with you and stay in your memory. But that can also rub some people the wrong way if they don't know you that well, of course. Because if you make offensive jokes, which is another kind I really like, well, if people don't really know you and they think you're being serious, then that can lead to some less appealing situations. Second greenhouse. And I think that the final vine is behind the wall over there. We can see it right here in front of us. So yeah, a busy day that was not busy actually at all. Any Sunday where I don't have to work doesn't feel busy anymore. I wonder if people that consistently work, that are like done with their education and they just work full time, feel that same way. If you normally have to work on a day, on a certain day of the week that is, and then all of a sudden you don't have to, it feels like that day just is 50 times longer than it normally is. I am not completely sure what we're doing. We're growing a plant, it seems like. Weird. It did work though. If you're wondering why I don't have to work, well, we work only with like, what should I say, students or just people that don't work full time. The entire staff of the restaurant where I work consists of people that don't work there full time. They just use it as an extra means of income, for example, or they are still studying just like me and my buddies. And that is why we have very flexible hours as well. But everybody does kind of tend to have that one moment in the week where they normally come to work. And for me, that's Sunday afternoon from 12 up until 5. Sunday afternoon is one of the more intense shifts that you can have as a dishwasher, because every Sunday at noon we're packed and you need to kind of be done with the dishes before the evening shift arrives, because well, they need to prepare the tables for the people that come to eat at night. And well, in the evening, we're not open at night actually, but they need to have enough plates and all of that to prepare, of course. Just wanted to check if we could destroy these flowers right here, which we absolutely can, so let's quickly do that. If I would have actually had work, then Lego Harry Potter would have been even better to play, because as I was just telling you earlier, it's really one of the best ways to wind down a bit. I'm not sure what this pink plate is all about. I feel like it has something to do with this giant yellow flower head. I feel like we should be able to build our own flower up here or on this plate, but it seems like we're missing one piece. That's fine. It's probably optional either way, just for a collectible. Moving on. I guess that now we are headed over to Hagrid's, huh? That's where the story normally goes after the encounter at the greenhouse between Harry and Slughorn. It's quite a funny scene in the movie. Daniel Radcliffe really acted this out quite nicely, because he has, of course, taken the liquid look now, so he has to kind of act out feeling extremely confident, and that is exactly the opposite of what Harry normally is most of the time in the story. And Daniel Radcliffe is normally great at portraying the fact that Harry normally is not confident like that, but now he is also great at portraying that Harry is confident right now. It really feels like a different person that you're watching. Looks like we are gonna be making a potion around here. True wizard already, awesome. Don't have to focus on stud collection anymore. And here we are, as I foretold. Nice sip of Coke Zero and shutting up during the cutscene. Look at the young Hagrid.
Huh?
Pardon me? Excuse me? What the hell did I just witness? Oh, Hagrid's buddy, the giant spider that we saw in the second movie, Aragog is his name if I'm not mistaken, has passed away sadly. And Slughorn instantly sees the opportunity. I don't need to collect studs anymore. Slughorn instantly notices the opportunity to get some money out of it, because the venom of such big spiders is apparently something quite rare in the wizarding world. I'm not quite sure what we're supposed to do with this. Maybe it will become more clearer once we move along. Apart from running today, I have just been absolutely consumed by Diablo 3 again the last couple of days, together with my buddy Simon, or Barstafol. It's an action RPG. I've talked about those kinds of games like Path of Exile and Diablo multiple times already. They suck you up. They just suck you up and they don't let you go. You can't just play it for a second or for a while, you know? It's one of the more grindy game genres where you really need to get to the end game to get to the real fun. The end game, for you non-gamer watchers out there, is a term indicating... how should I describe it? Imagine that your hobby is playing tennis. And you have to learn how to hit the ball, you have to learn how to serve the ball, and that's all fun. And then you have some friendly games against other people, and that's also fun because you learn a lot from that. But then the end game, that's actually playing against people that are a little bit better than you, where you can learn the most and where you get challenged the most. And that's the most fun of it all. So action RPGs are all about getting to that end game as quickly as possible and then grinding even harder, and that's the enjoyable part. Same is true for old school RuneScape, of course, where a lot of people will not like the game because it feels like, well, you're just doing a task to get stronger, and getting stronger should be fun, right? Because maybe it gives you an advantage over your opponents or whatever if you're playing a game against other people. But in games like action RPGs and like RuneScape, it's not about getting stronger. It's about being able to do that same task that you were already doing even quicker. And I realized that that might actually sound very weird, because that sounds like there's no end to the game. And that's kind of true for those kinds of games, you know? For old school RuneScape, there kind of is an end, but it's almost not reachable by any human. The end is getting 200 million XP in every single skill, because that's the max amount of experience points you can get, and also getting every PvE item, player versus environment item, that there is to get, I guess. But that's not really feasible to complete by any single human being. But in Diablo and Path of Exile and action RPGs, it's even harder to think about a possible end point, actually. Because always when you achieve one of your goals, the next goal is just lined up, you know? It's a never-ending cycle of grinding, getting better at grinding, and then grinding some more. And I'm all for it, but a lot of people will not be all for that. Because they want to experience progress and then be able to do something else, you know? Whereas things like Diablo and stuff are just all about making progress, and you're not really doing something else, you just keep making progress more and more. But if you do enjoy those kinds of games, they are addicting and time consuming. That is of course a whole different world from what we're doing right here. Just enjoying the story, enjoying the characters, enjoying the cutscenes, enjoying the simple mechanics and the simplicity of it all, and just really living in the story. Had some difficulty getting that out there, but...
Oh.
What the hell? They're just mutilating the dead spider. That's not really what happens in the story. Very weird. Young Hagrid is really cute.
Huh? No.
We got the memory. Alright, well, short and sweet episode. What we saw there was a little bit different from the story. In the story, Slughorn and Hagrid actually get drunk, and Harry just enjoys their company because he's not really a drinker. And then when Slughorn is drunk, Harry uses his care for Lily, for Harry's deceased mother, because she was one of his model students and his most liked students. And he says that if we don't get that memory, other things like that will happen. Other families will get murdered, and people like me will exist more often in the world. People like me being orphans and stuff like that. So that really convinces Slughorn to finally deliver his memory to us about what he told Lord Voldemort. We will find out in the next episode what that is, even though we already know it, because I cannot keep my mouth shut for a second. Would be a little bit boring though if I shut up for the entire episode. I know some content creators that make videos like that though, or stream like that. Not gonna name any names, don't want to start any YouTube beef, although it's more Twitch beef, because his YouTube channel is a total disgrace. Thanks a lot for watching, bye bye.